Okay, we start. Yes, let's do this different. Yes, yes. Okay. Hello, still in.
Hi.
Okay, I'm audible, right? So you can mute yourself. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So yes, people. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible? You can reply by chat as I mentioned. But yes, okay. Yes, Shika, am I audible? You can reply by chat. Okay. Yes, Shika, you can respond by chat. Am I audible? Okay, let's see. Let's just test. I cannot unmute, right? Okay, Shika, am I audible? Okay, we proceed as we wait for others. So let's proceed. Okay. So okay, we have something about 12 pages of handout about SRA, sequence tree archive. So first, let's see that I already mailed it to you, right? I just mailed it to you. So okay, you can see this. PDF has been mailed to you. Accessing the short read archive SRE. Okay, we will proceed quickly. First, we'll download a data set here. We go to the PDF. Yes. First, we'll download. Okay. So, yes, Shika, am I audible? Okay. Okay, we'll download. We'll start the download. So, CD. So let's put this on download. So this is about 196 MB. Let's see how much time it takes. An estimate. Yes, so this session is being recorded, so we'll try as far as possible how the quality of the recording works. So, okay. The downloading should start. Once the downloading begins, we'll get an estimate of the time. Basically, we are downloading this data set. We first get the running. So how do we get information for all runs in the sequence tree archive? We first get the run info via eSearch query. When downloading a large amounts of data, the best approach whenever possible is to divide the data into smaller units. For example, we could download it by months. Okay, so months 2015 May, yes, May. So then we just need to automate the line of code to iterate over each month and pair. Yes. So we did that and you can obtain the results. So obviously this data set is going to be very huge because it's for a particular month the SRA submissions. So already a sample of the data set, SRA running for 2016 September, right? This was September, maybe 4 years ago. This the same SRA running for archive which shown here. So let's see if the download begins. Connection is okay. Yes, am I audible to everybody? You can reply by chat. How many people now? Shipraji, yes, am I audible? You can reply by chat. Shipraji, am I audible? You can respond by chat. Okay. So okay, we got a response. Okay. Now I'm audible. Okay, the screen is not okay. Okay, so let me start presenting my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible? Okay. Is my screen visible? I can respond by chat. Okay. So let's see. This download has begun. Okay, first we'll proceed with this. We'll proceed with the first page. So who will read this for us? Yes, what is a short read archive, sequence read archive? Yes, quickly please. When you're asked to read, anybody come forward and read. Okay, please. Hello. Yes, we are all waiting. Yes, please go on. Please read.
The SRA Short Read Archive is a data storage service provided by NCBI. The history of SRA's development is fairly convoluted and includes a widely announced, promoted, and then retracted cancellation of the service. In parallel, the data design and use interface were standardized perhaps prematurely before the community fully understood how it might need to access the data. The incredible rate of growth of the deposited data logged and forced those standards in place. Today it seems that it would be hard to change them without inconveniencing a large number of people to bypass and or automate access to SRA.
Okay, so there are many SRA naming schemes. Yes, Dr. Stillian, can you read the SRA naming schemes? Yes, Trillian, please read the SRA naming schemes.
Data in the SRA. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please go
Data
on.
in the SRA is organized under a hierarchical structure where each top category may contain one or more subcategories. Number one, NCBI project, bioproject, PRJN. Example, PRJNA 257197 contains the overall description of a single research initiative. The project will typically relate to multiple samples and datasets. NCBI biosample SAMN describes biological source material is physically unique. Specimens should be registered as a single biosample with a unique set of attributes. SRA experiment SRX, a unique sequencing library for a specific sample. SRA run is a manifest of data linked to a given sequencing library.
Okay, so we download the data from the SRA using SRA toolkit. So already, if you're on Apple book, if you're MacBook, so you can follow these instructions here to do all the installation thing of using the homebrew. I've already given the link, so please follow this link. So it's already mentioned in the email also. This link here in the email, and I'm again mentioning in the WhatsApp. Yes, so hide this. Please install this. So please follow the instructions there to install all the commands in Apple, the craft of homebrewing for Mac OS. Okay, so it may take some time, but please install this. So okay, so let us see, for example, SRA toolkit, Bioconda. So for those who have Linux, we can use the SRA toolkit from Bioconda. So SRA toolkit and software development kit from NCBI is a collection of tools and libraries for using data in the International Nucleotide Sequence Database Consortium Sequence Tree Archives. Okay, so basically we installed, for example, parallel FASTQ-dump, Bioconda. This is for Linux. Yes, so please, once you speak, after that you can mute yourself, no problem. So okay, so parallel FASTQ-dump is for downloading the FASTQ data, and if you want SAM-dump, which is for downloading SAM files, you have this, which is available from SRA tools, right? So these two links, SRA tools for SRA toolkit and software development kit from NCBI, and mentioning here in the WhatsApp. So whatever links are being mentioned in the WhatsApp, please revisit them after the session and follow the instructions accordingly. So very basic instructions, is I think I explained that. Okay, so and then FASTQ-dump, right? So the previous link is parallel-FASTQ-dump. So here, okay, if you want, let us see brew faq space dump. Okay. So fastq dump Mac OS. If you carefully see this, double click on the tar.gz file and then archive utility will unpack. Alternatively, command line tar will also work. Yes. So fundamentally the use for the installation is the same in respect of Mac OS X or this one. Yes, so you can follow this easily for SRA toolkit for both Linux and Apple Mac. Yes, so please follow this links to install. Okay, so quickly are there alternatives to the SRA? Yes, Shipraj, you can read this. Yes, please don't give such a pause. Please read if you are asked to read. Shipraji, Shipraji, please read this. Let us see how many participants are there. Okay. Yes, please read. See, this is a session, right? Please read. Hello. Hello. Hello.
The European Nucleotide Archive provides an hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, please, one of you read. Please don't mute. Two of you don't unmute yourself simultaneously. Okay. Yes. You can go on. Yes. Please go on. See, please, we are in the middle of a session. Please read. Are there alternatives to the sequence read archive?
European Nucleotide Archive provides an alternative repository to store the world's nucleotide sequencing information, covering raw sequencing data, sequence assembly information, and functional annotation. The naming schemes and organization of data mirror those of the SRA. Though the files are stored directly as FASTQ and BOM and do not read conversion via the SRA toolkit. A more user-friendly interface is provided by the DNA Nexus SRA site and is hosted by Nexus company. The interface allows users to search and filter all the publicly accessible sequence read archive data. The data itself is still hosted at NCBI. URL.
Okay, so let us see them in brief. So quickly, so how SRA looks and how these two alternatives look. So NCBI SRA, yes. SRA is not quite directly intuitive. We have to download via the SRA toolkit. A sequence-read archive data available through multiple cloud providers and NCBI servers is the largest publicly data repository of high throughput sequencing data. The archive accepts data from all branches of life as well as metagenomic and environmental surveys. SRA sequence-read archive stores raw sequencing data and alignment information to enhance reproducibility and facilitate new discoveries through data analysis. So please note, once you speak, after that please mute yourself. I need not tell again and again. So once you're asked to speak, you can unmute. Once you speak, please mute. So please do the proper things as a decorum in the online session. Okay, so now SRA, right? So we can check for one run if you want, one ID. So let us check this. So we go to SRA, we check for the sequence read archive run 1553607. So this is Zaire Ebola virus genome sequencing from 2014 outbreak in Sierra Leone. So basically we have this, we have the sequencer information, we have the spots. We'll discuss what is spots. We have a 41.1 megabase file and we have this many downloads. So Ebola virus sequencing from human serum. So if we click on the run also, basically we will see the run information. On parallel, let us go to European Nucleotide Archive, ENA, EBI. So this is the European Nucleotide Archive browser. So now it is part of the European Life Science Information Exchange infrastructure, that's Elixir. Elixir is the European Life Science Information Exchange infrastructure. Okay, so we can directly search here, right? SRR 1553607. I put search. So the accession, right? In the accession. Okay. So basically we get this run here, and as we can see in the European Nucleotide Archive, it's directly mentioned, like FTP website, it's directly mentioned the FASTQ files. Is it still loading? Okay. Read files as show. So yes, so directly you can see this. This is in fastq.gz, right? Yes, this is also in fastq.gz. Yes. So if you go further to the right, you can see the download all button for SRA FTP. This is basically in file transfer protocol. So this is quite a nice interface because we can directly download the data without requirement of a tool for downloading the data, unlike the SRA toolkit for NCBI. Okay, and then let us see, we can see DNA Nexus, SRA also. So if you go to dnanexus.com, this is a commercial interface, but still it just points to the links in the NCBI. So most probably if you see this website itself, it might obviously require a login to view the data. Yes. So since there's a login here, we might need a commercial access for non-academic purposes to log in. Okay, so we'll come back to SRE toolkit. Let us see this. Basically, the biosample is here, bioproject is here, SRE study is here, and organism. So we can also do blast. It's not a new thing. We can not only blast a nucleotide sequence, we can also blast basically the FASTQ file also. Fundamentally, in a fundamental way, it might be converted to a FASTQ file and then it's blasted. Okay, so let's come back. So we take the first. There are several tools. To the most commonly ones used to download the how to use SRE toolkit or FASTQ-dump and SAM-dump. So FASTQ-dump basically downloads the unaligned FASTQ format. SAM-dump downloads the aligned SAM file. So FASTQ-dump, we copy this. So let's run this. So basically, we know that it is about 41.1 megabase pair, right? So it shouldn't take much time also. We will use some additional things as well. So basically, this will download as a single FASTQ file. By default, the SRE data will concatenate the paired reads because that's actually how the instrument measured them as well. For paired reads, the data is initially separated into different files. So let's use a split files verbose qualifier. Basically, this is split into paired reads of equal sizes because we have not yet done any FastQC as encouraged for us to do above. Okay, so let us first download this. So this will download, no doubt. So if you do ls also, nothing is downloaded. So let's do FASTQ dump qualifier x 10,000 and split files. Yes, we are downloading only the first 10,000 reads and that too in paired end format, and you should get over quickly. Okay, so written 10,000 spots, right? So what do we understand by spots here? Let us first do ls. We get a paired end, right? _1 _2. So if you want to do FastQC for each one of them, so srr _1 and srr _2 for FastQ. So this was just 10,000 reads. So we completed the FastQC quickly. FastQ quality control. We have basically two HTML files to view. We'll view one of them for simplicity. Firefox space srr space _1.fastq engine, and this is how the FastQ report looks. So what is the encoding? Just quickly, what is the encoding? Yes, you have to be
Lumina 1.9.
1.9, right? So that is Fred plus 33 encoding. Okay, so sequence length is 101 base pair, and this is GC percentage 59%.
Yes, okay.
So the basic per base sequence quality report looks like this. So mostly we can see that it's in the good zone only. Yes, it's in the good zone. Only per base sequence content and per base GC content are flagged to be poor. These are all pass. This is fail. Per base sequence content, per base GC content is fail. Okay, so if you want, let us view for the second one also. So _2, right? Yes, the encoding remains the same with respect to the pair. So usually we know that second pair is being sequenced from 3 prime to 5 prime, so the quality drops. So quality always drops from 5 prime to 3 prime. So since the pair 2 is always sequenced from 3 prime to 5 prime, the quality automatically drops. Okay, so let us keep this in mind. Okay, so let us move further. The fastqdump command does two things in sequence. It first downloads the data into the so-called SRA format, then converts it into FASTQ format. We can ask the tool to convert just a subset of the data. Yes, so just 10,000 digits. That's what we did. Okay, is it possible to download SRA files from a server? Yes, there's a website called ftp-trace.ncba.nih.gov /SRA/SRA-instant that uses an encoding system to map SRR number to a URL. For example, SRR 197.2.739 can be downloaded as follows. So let us check this first. So instead of giving the SRR ID, we are giving the SRA file, the fastqdump command, which is to be downloaded using this. So let us see if this download gets done quickly, or we'll see the time estimated. Yes, so basically file might no longer be available, but we will do it. Yes, so SRR 1972739. Yes, dot SRE. So SRR 1972739.SRE, right? I think this should be the link. Okay, so maybe it's no more in trace. So let us check. Let us go to the link directly. And check for this. Check for this SRR. Is obtaining data from trace archive. Enter query string is submit. Okay, we'll check this link again once more. Or if it can be done using curl. Mostly these are all static links, so they should be preserved. So yes. Okay, so we'll proceed with fastqdump. The idea is just to illustrate that even if you have the dataset in SRA format, we can download it in FASTQ format using fastqdump command. So where do the downloads go? So when any download via fastqdump is initiated, the entire data for the run ID is first downloaded to a location on our computer. By default, this location is at ncbi ~/ncbi/public/SRA. There may be other sequences related to an SRA file, in which case those two will be downloaded. Okay, yes. So can anybody read the note?
Yeah. Note, even if we only asked for the first 10 reads of a FASTQ file, the entire FASTQ content would need to be first downloaded to the hidden location, and then out of that, the first 10 reads will be shown. For large datasets, this may take a considerable amount of time and may use up a substantial amount of disk space.
Yes, so in order to determine the first 10,000 reads, the entire FASTQ file needs to be streamed first. It's not exactly maybe downloaded, but streamed, because every dataset that is being downloaded or uploaded into in the internet is basically stream data. So stream data means at that particular instant of time, whatever amount of data. For example, in curl you get this statistics, right? Like for this much time, this much. Like when you're downloading a file, for example, you find the stream, right? This many KB per second, Mbps, kbps. So that is the stream data. So in that way, the stream data is basically the entire FASTQ file is being streamed, but from the stream we take only the first 10,000 reads, or whatever number of reads we specify in the FASTQ dump using qualifier capital X. So okay, we saw these spots, right? Basically we saw the spots here. Written 10,000 spots for the SRRs. So what are spots? What is a spot in SRE? Yes. So let us see the attendance. So now, okay. This Brijesh, please read the what is a spot in SRE.
Okay. The SRA tool report most result in the term of spot and not as the reads measurements. Though they two almost always seems to be mean and the same thing. Answer to the bulk star question, what is this spot in the SRA format? Set some lights. The spot model is the Illumina GA centric. All of these bases for a single location constitute of the spot. As it turns out, the terminology is both confusing and may not be applicable to other instruments. In the Illumina sequencer, a single location on the flow cell generates the first read, the barcode if that exists, and the second paired read if the run was paired in sequencing run. We almost always split the spot via the // split file option into the originating file.
So that is verbose qualifier split files, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
yes. So 1 minute. Okay. So yes. So those who speak, you can unmute, no problem. You can mute. Yes. If you're asked to speak, you can unmute. Okay. So now let us see this. Basically, when we have this, we downloaded this SRR 1553607, right? So we go to the terminal. Yes, as of now we have these many files in our directory. So let us do, for example, head qualifier N12 SRR 15_1.FASTQ. Yes. So how many reads are there? Yes, how many reads are there?
6.
3 reads, right?
6.
Yes, head qualifier N12. So 12 divided by 4. Whatever number of lines, that many divided by 4, right? So 3 reads. So in the first position, what are the bases? In the first position, what are the bases? Okay, it might be easier. In the last position, what are the bases?
GTTA.
In the last position, what are the bases?
ATG.
ATG, right? So that is a spot. So we can count two ways. We can count horizontally number of reads. Vertically, we can count number of spots. Okay, so the spot is particular position. What are the bases? That's just number of spots. So whether we count the number of rows in terms of reads or number of columns, number of rows in terms of spots, it's the same. But if you count number of rows, we are basically counting in a sequence centric way. If you are counting number of spots, we are counting bases. Yes. Okay, so spot concept is also simple. So how do we get information on the run? So there's this tool called SRE statistics. So let us take this. So we get quick statistics here using SRE stat space verbose qualifier XML space verbose qualifier quick space SRR space this. So because this basically these are all online stream commands only, we are directly trying to access the data from the internet. So the running time of these tools not only depends on our RAM but also on the internet speed. Yes. So this is basically in XML format, right? So what the quality value 2, yes. So 2 is as we know low quality. Quality value 2, count of what is this count? Count is how number of spots, right? Yes, for quality value 2, this is a count of number of spots. Yes. So quality value 5, the count of spots. So the spots count is given here. Okay, so 41 is the maximum. So we can move from 2 to 41. So we understand the thread quality scores. Yes. So we can also reformat this data if you want in queue and this one. So basically this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So we can use extract command using XML extract command and then parse this. Okay, so quickly coming back, get a read length statistics on PacBio dataset. So PacBio, a specific SRR number which is about 10,000 read length is given here. So SRE stat verbose qualifier XML verbose qualifier statistics SRR this one. So let us see this how much it takes, how much time it takes to stream. Okay, let the command run. Automating access to the short read archive SRE. In this chapter, we demonstrate how to automate access to the sequence read archive and answer questions such as how many sequencing runs have been deposited so far, how much data is stored in the SRE, and so on. So how can you automate downloading in multiple SRE runs? So fundamentally we need to take a bio project number for this case. We obtain first a list of sequence read runs, SRE sequencing run numbers, and run fastq dump on each. So if this is running, let us open a new terminal. Okay, so okay, anyway, we got the quality value and the count of the number of reads. Yes, and spots is given here and reads is given here. Statistics and reads is equal to 1 and spots is equal to 2452. Yes, so we can see that it's something like a normal distribution only, a skewed distribution. For low quality also number of count of reads is low, it's somewhat increases, and for high quality 15 also again drops. Okay, so let us go further. How can you automate downloading multiple SRE runs? So we search qualifier DB SRE database qualifier query by project number. The C search qualifier DB sequence read archive space qualifier query space by project number 257197. So basically we got a XML report, right? So we got something like a MD5 checksum for this. Okay, so it tells us that there are 891 sequencing runs for this project ID. Yes, we got the count here, right? Count is 891. So there are 891 sequencing runs for this 891. Okay, so this is a reproducible command. So format the output as a so-called run info type, comma separated values. So we fetch this in format run info. So run info is a recognized format in the SRA database. First we will see the standard output how it looks. Yes, this is all the SRA running for that day we saw, right?
Hello, Praharshit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a query.
Yeah.
Like in the first step, the research space qualified DB space SRA space qualified query.
Yeah.
In this, you counted total number of SRA sequences which are deposited on TRG project. And then
Worst case we will get only XML.
second
Whenever
command
we
is
do
for
only
I don't
eSearch,
understand.
whenever we do only eSearch, we'll get a XML format output. Okay. Yes. eFetch will give it to us in the desired format. eSearch will do just a search in this XML format, just like we see in the website. It will give in the command line in XML format, extended markup language. So eFetch will give us in the desired format that we want. So always we couple, it's always we do eFetch in combination with eSearch. Okay. Yes. So we output this into our info.csv if you want. So let's see this info.csv. So comma separated file, and then command may take about 30 seconds depending on the stream speed of from the internet. Okay, so the command may take surprisingly long time, 30 seconds to complete, even though it is just a simple retrieval. The resulting comma separated value file is easiest to interpret when open with Excel or other spreadsheet tools. Though we should be warned that Excel as a data analysis tool has quite a bad reputation among bioinformaticians. Okay, so most of that. Now it's true that Excel has a number of very annoying features. For example, it attempts to convert certain words into other types. A very famous example is a gene named September 9 or SCP9. Excel converts this automatically to September 9. So, if it would not matter whether we run this a day after Wednesday. So, if we use a gene name called SCP9 in Excel, it will automatically convert due to the properties of Excel into date, month and date, September 9. So whether it trims off leading zeros from numbers. For recent review, let's see the paper gene name errors are widespread in scientific literature. Okay, that being said, it is easy to make mistakes at the command line, as Excel at least visually shows the results. We get riled up out of Excel primarily because it silently notices errors which feel like a betrayal of okay. The resulting info.csv file is quite rich in metadata and contains a series of attributes for them. Yes, so we are interested in SRA metadata, right? Already we saw the Excel visualization of the metadata we saw last session. Okay, so the first column is obviously the SRA run IDs. So let this be over this comma separated value file. Basically, there will be a count of 891 SRA run IDs. Okay, so let this download. These are the commands we can do to check for each column or attribute of the SRA. SRR run info. So the first column will be run, second column will be the release date, then load date, and then the number of spots, that is per number of bases in a particular position, and the number of bases, and spots with average length and size. Okay, so 7 into 7 is okay. 7 into 2 is 14, right? Yes. 67 into 2 is basically 134. Yes, so you can see this, right? This property, the number of spots here 4377867, right? So if you see this column, 4377867.
Hello, Harshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
You said spots are actually location of each base. Like we discussed it that what are spots, and that you said spots are actually each base, counting each base. So I saw another column where they have given separate. So can you explain this?
Just for 1 minute. See, if you see this, this number is what? What is this number? Yes, what is this number?
Why you multiplied it with 202? 202 is what?
202 is the average read length. Yes,
Okay,
average
okay.
read length, right?
Average read length.
Yes, so number of spots for one read, the number of spots is this. Yes, number of spots is basically counted as for a particular position the number of bases. Yes, number of spots into average length is number of what we get as the number of bases. That is obvious, right? The number of bases is counted in a row as a whole. Number of reads, the number of reads is like the rows.
Okay.
One spot is like one column, right? Yes. One spot is like
Yes.
one column where it occupies,
Yes, one
is occupied
spot
by
will
one
like
base.
one column. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yes.
So spots 4377867 into 202 will give us this number 88432934, exactly as we got it here. Okay, so let us see if this is downloaded. Still about to be downloaded. Okay, so
Just one doubt, Harsha.
yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
So
yes.
this column is column of the sequencer. The column means the column of the sequencer. Like we have 8 column, more than 8 column. So here is column is the sequences, like where we put this like reagent.
No, this is run info is metadata. Okay, SRR metadata. Yes.
During the sequencing.
Yeah. So this not only contains the sequencer information, but also the submission information. That is when it is submitted, and by the submitter, by the data submitter or genomic data center, when it is submitted, the date, timestamp, everything, right? It is metadata.
So that means here we have like in the bases we have these are the nucleotide bases.
A spot is, for example, in a particular column, as we saw here. If you go up, okay, that is okay. Let us just download. I will show again spots. So if we see again above, so what are spots? The spot model is okay. Okay. A single location on the flow cell generates the first read of the barcode. Okay, where did we have this? Okay, all of the bases for a single location constitute a spot. Okay, for a single location, all of the bases. So how many number of reads we have, that is number of rows, right? So for example, total number of bases is something like number of columns in the spots, and all of the bases for a single location is a spot, that's number of rows. Yes, it is something like this. So if we have like this, the FASTQ read, so let's just say we have yes, so this is read 1. Yes, so this T and this A, this number of spots is this column, right? So number of reads is 2, and 2 into 8 is total number of bases, right? So 2 spots in this position. In this position there are 2 spots, that's T and A. The last position there are 2 spots, T and A. Number of reads is 2. So 2 into read length is number of bases. Yes. So 2 into 8, that is 16. So this is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 8 5 6 and 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. Yes. So it's simple, right? So number of spots is a vertical thing, and number of reads is like a row wise, and number of spots is column wise. And this is like a rectangle where the length is a number of reads and width or height is the number of spots. So area of the rectangle is nothing but number of bases, and that is nothing but number of reads into number of spots. Okay, so let us see if this is downloaded. Still downloading. Okay, how could we get information on the run? We saw the statistics in XML format, and we saw statistics in terms of read length and in terms of also the quality. Okay, so now if we want to store only the SRR run IDs, we can store it in a text file called ids.txt. Okay, so first of all we need the info.csv file, right? So that should be the smallest file compared to this file which we first wanted to download. That's 196 MB. It's not even getting connected. Okay, so we can go on doing FASTQ dump for each of the SRR run IDs in a recursive fashion. This will give us how many FASTQ files. If for example 891 we have as the number of count of 891 is what? 891 sequencing runs, right? It's 891 sequencing runs. So for the 891 sequencing runs, if we do this commands for each of the sequencing run, how many FASTQ files we'll get?
891 into 2.
Yes, 891 into 2, right? Because it's going to be pad n. It's going to be pad n. So 891 into 2 is 192. Sorry, 182 and 1600. That's going to be 1782, right? 1782. 891 into 2. 1782 FASTQ files will get. Okay, so the run info is still being downloaded, and we also have the XARGS command. That's a tool that can be used to construct new commands. So basically XARGS command can be used in combination with existing commands to give some arguments in the command line itself. Yes. So for example, instead of showing the output like this, there is SRR 1972 917 1972 918 1972 919 in serial order. You can also modify this in this way. Simple using this echo command. This is number is like a common prefix for this 3-word prefix, and this is number the SRR IDs. And you can also do the FASTQ dump in conjunction with the ids.txt. So these are some commands we will not be doing because obviously they will result in very large files, right? Our total hard disk might be lost, so might be occupied. Okay, so how do we get information on all the runs in the SRE? So how many sequencing runs are in the SRE? So number of SRR prefix will give us the number of sequencing runs in SRE, right? That's simple. So how do we extract the columns from a comma separated file? You can use CSV kit or Miller. Cutting columns on tabs is usually fine, as tabs are not part of normal text. Commas, on the other hand, are commonly used with the text within text itself, and splitting directly on commas, we may end up lining up the wrong columns. Hence, we need a more sophisticated tools that cut the file properly. Column delimiter, commas, not as columns that are within text reports. So we need to distinguish between commas which are for the delimiter, that is from one column to another, and the commas which are contained, for example, within the column. For example, if we want to represent 10,000, we usually write 10, comma 000, right? So that may be a number in a particular column. That comma we should distinguish from the comma for the column separator. Okay, so how do we clean up the data? We can use a data mesh tool. In addition to this, and other something that's unfortunately an endemic problem with mathematics. Even though we have selected data from an official source, sometimes very rarely the numeric column is invalid, and instead of a number it contains a word. So we have some well-designed tools such as data mesh that pinpoints the line. Okay, so basically starting at line 14353 is invalid. If you print out that line with the SCD tool, it shows this. Okay, so this line does not look correct. Instead of values it contains words. It's a mystery why that happened, but we will remove it and see if the rest works. Of course that may not be a trivial thing, so we cannot find such kinds of needles in a haystack going through millions and millions of rows in a particular large data set. So how do we remove the 1453106 line from a file keeping the rest intact? Unix comes to rescue. So we can again use sed in conjunction with qualifier I command. You can use qualifier E to just take it out as follows: 1453106D. Thankfully the rest of the files must all pass. Okay, is this downloaded? Let's see. Okay, this is just a general discussion on SRE metadata, so which we continued from last session. So for big data scientists, janitor work is a key hurdle to insights. Okay, most of the bioinformatics work in the initial stages is occupied with interconverting between file formats, and that far too much handcrafted work. What data scientists call the data wrangling, data monkeying, or data janitor work is still required. Data scientists, according to interviews and expert estimates, spend 50% to 80% of the time mined in more mundane labor of collecting and preparing unduly detailed data before it can explode for useful nuggets again. What we have to do above is one of these general tasks. From a 600 MB file with 1.5 million entries, we first had to get rid of the single line that caused error. Okay, all this is applicable once we download this file. Is this 196 MB file, which obviously is not being downloaded due to its large size, or maybe the low connectivity or unavailability. We will just base whatever this file is being downloaded is for the allruns.csv. So instead of running these commands on allruns.csv, we are trying to run this on info.csv. So info.csv contains just 891 runs instead of that many runs, like millions of runs in allruns.csv. Okay, so then how many sequence bases are there in the SRE? We will count this in terms of not all runs but info.csv. So sequence bases is going to be cut qualifier phi, right? Cut qualifier phi is for fifth column. So if we go here, go back to the Excel file, fifth column is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of bases, which is nothing but number of spots into average length. So if you add up all of this, that will be the number of bases, right, for all the runs. Yes. For one run, one run will contain many rows, many reads, many spots in terms of columns, the number of columns into number of reads, number of rows, that will give us number of bases, and all SRR runs for a particular bio project will get total number of pieces. Okay, we will get this file. We can get this file also. How many sequencing runs per organism? Column 29 of the run info file contains the organism. So this is basically for the all.csv, which will be more effective because we are basically downloading the entire SRA metadata, but that's not feasible for us in our less time as well as our hard disk. So how many sequencing runs for each sequencing platform? Column 19 contains a sequencing platform name. Okay, so some of the important columns we need to remember. How many runs per sequencing instrument model? Column number 20 contains the instrument model name. So column number 20 contains the instrumental model name, and column number 19 contains the sequencing platform name, and column number 29 contains the organism name, and column number 5 contains number of sequence bases. Yes, so basically similar to what we did for SAM files, using cut command, we can do for cut qualifier F 2, 5, 19, 20, 29 like that. Okay, so let's open a new terminal and okay, so if you can continue with genomic variation, basically, so cd NGS, yes, so let us open this. Once I will reshare my screen, so that let's make sure my screen is shared. Yes, I'm again asking just for confirmation. Yes, still in. You asked a doubt, right? How do you convert the downloaded SRA run data into Excel format? Yes. Yes, it's nothing much of an effort. Already we illustrated it in last class. Yes. Once we get the allinfo.csv like this here. Yes, you got our info.csv, right? Basically. So we just have to open this. Okay. Info.csv is there. We just have to go to the folder. Is still in. Hello. Hello, still.
Correct.
Yeah.
Please.
We
Yeah. Please continue. Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
It got disconnected.
Yeah. We just have to go to the folder.
What you were saying?
We just have to go to the folder where our info.csv is downloaded, runinfo.csv. So we go to snip folder, and then we go to snip call is this folder. So this is info.csv. How did we download the info.csv? This is the command, right? This is the command. I'm copying the command here in WhatsApp. So for a particular bio project, the bio project ID is the most important thing for getting the sequence tree run info. So I'm also copying in WhatsApp so that we'll have a record. Anyway, this session is being recorded, so we'll upload on YouTube. Okay, so now basically we have this. So just go to the folder where the info.csv is downloaded, open, double click on it. Once you double click on it, it will open. Yes, so if you don't give comma delimiter, it will open like this. Give the comma delimiter and press OK. Yes, so this is all anyway open in Excel format, right? Yes, this is Excel format. Yes, basically comma separated value or whatever XLS format. So yes, okay, this is fine.
Can you repeat?
Okay, I close this. We take a particular bioproject ID, yes, like PRJNA257197, for example, for Zaire Ebola virus. This is the entry direct tool for this. eSearch qualified DB SRA qualify query PRJNA257197 space pipe space eFetch qualify format runinfo. Runinfo is a format and query is a bioproject ID. The database is a sequence seed archive, and we output this to info.csv. Yes, so we already got the info.csv file. Yes, so we open this, we go to the folder where it is downloaded, go to NGS folder, we download it in this folder, so this and then this, so info.csv, just left click twice on it, and once you ask for the delimiters, then it's asked for comma, choose comma. Yes, choose comma, because it's a comma separated file, and click OK. Yes, so you can download it in Excel format or comma separated value format, which is depicted in the Excel spreadsheet. Yes, basically CSV file, comma separated value, and XLS is both the same. The only difference is that Excel file, usually the delimiter is space or tab. In comma separated value, the delimiter is comma. Okay, so it's clear. Yes, it's very clear. It's just opening a file normally as we do.
Okay.
A particular graphical user interface. Okay, so please.
But where will I find all these info CSV and all?
Yes,
The folder info CSV. Where will I find?
that's what we did just now, right?
The folder you
we
said
are
from-
downloading the info.csv using the
Yeah.
eSearch command for a particular bioproject ID in the runinfo
Yeah.
format. We are outputting it in the info.csv. It's not
Okay.
not about info.csv or whatever. We can name it anything. For a particular bioproject, we'll have many SRR runs. We are downloading it using eSearch command. And if you want to install eSearch, please go here. Entry direct basically. So entry direct eDirect space NCDI. So these are the installation instructions. The NCBI book.
So
here.
after downloading, it will be there. After downloading, it will be there in my local system.
It depends which path you put the file, right? You are just downloading a file in a particular folder. Yes, you are downloading the runinfo. The runinfo is what you want to depict in the Excel format for getting the SRA metadata visualization in the Excel format. Yes, so follow these instructions for downloading the eDirect, entry direct. Yes, so this is a command line utility to access the NCBI from command line. So this is a link here. So most of the previous participants have already downloaded and installed the entry direct. Okay, so this is the entry direct link to install. Okay, so 1 minute, I hide. Yes, please, if you ask a question, please mute yourself after this. Yes, once you're done with the question, please mute yourself. There's no need to discuss regarding these small things again and again. Yes, please mute yourself. Yes. Okay, so we proceed with info.csv, the commands, whatever they are, and then we went to this we are in NGS folder, and we are in the RECS. So 2020 Sep 2020. So SRA meta. So whatever run info you want, it's mentioned here clearly. Run info can be got only from a bioproject ID. You can refer to page number 5 of 12. Yes, Sterling, I hope you're here listening. You can refer to page number 5 of 12 for getting the info. If you want to get the info, run info for Corona, go to the bioproject for Corona, right? So what is a bioproject for Corona? Let's see that. So if you go to NCBI itself, so if you go to NCBI, if you just go to the home page, don't put anything in the search box, automatically you get the pink box, right? So go to SARS-CoV-2. So if you go here, if you go down, explore the data. Right, you can first get the accession, this NC_045512, this genome reference sequence accession. In search, you put this. So bioproject you get here, right? Yes, you get the bioproject for the accession is for the sequence, and NCBI virus reference sequence is what is the accession number? Bioproject viral accession DevSec project accession number.
PRGNA4854.
So just instead of this one, instead of the project number we use PRJNA257197, just replace this with your bioproject accession number. Yes, and the rest of the command is the same. And to install this command, please follow the steps here. Yes, there is some modifications in this. We basically went to this link, right? Here. The first line of the installation is the same. Basically we have to run this Perl script. You can do away with the backslash. It's just these are all some things you can learn interactively. It's not that always we need to run these commands again and again. So the backslash is mentioned when you want to continue a command on the next line. If you don't mention backslash, it's fine. If you, as long as you include this line, the single quote open here, the single quote is open here before $/$FTP. The single quote is closed after the semicolon. So up to this you can run the first command. Second command, gunzip qualifier C, this is fine. You can extract this. No need to remove this gunzip, this extracted file, this compressed file. No need to remove unnecessarily. No need to do exit as well. And instead of export path is equal to $path this, just give this export path is equal to just replace this so export path is equal to $path semicolon $EWD. Yes. So you can give this, let us check once. So this line, if you carefully check the shell script, these three lines would be sufficient. Export path is $path slash semicolon dollar bracket open, common bracket open, pwd $close is this command. And you also need to run this this one basically here. So chmod, whenever you download a compressed directory, obviously it's understood that you should go to the directory, right? So cd space edirect. So edirect, if it is downloaded in .tar.gz format, you can already follow the NCB our WhatsApp forums as well, our WhatsApp group as well. Already Abdul not participating here, but he has mentioned how can we extract a tar file. So it's no need to repeat each and every routine thing again and again. So tar and if you want to extract tar.gz file, so extract tar.gz file. So most of the commands and most of the things in bioinformatics are reusable, so you need to build up on what you already learned. Everything cannot be repeated again and again. So this is how we extract a tar.gz file. So whatever is the commands, we know the ready-made commands. I'm just giving the links, you can refer to them, you can experiment with them. If you have any doubts, put in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so this is how we extract a tar.gz file. Here, okay, this link. So once the extract is done, so basically you can extract this using this command. I think the net is slow down due to our download of the run info which we downloaded. Okay, no problem. It's star dot. Once you download the edirect and using the above link here, 3:29 p.m. So tar qualifier xpzf edirect dot tar dot gz. Yes, once you do this, always after extracting, always go to the folder. That's a good habit. So edirect, cd space edirect. Yes, once you go to this folder, do chmod a+x setup.sh and then bash setup.sh. Yes. Okay. So if you have any doubts, again follow the recorded session and again ask in the WhatsApp group. No problem. You can specify the time also. The second. Okay. So let us see this first. This is not exactly what we wanted to discuss. We wanted to discuss SRA metadata. Okay, so the first column, right? Cat info.csv. The first column. Cat space info.csv space pipe space cut space qualifier f1 space qualifier d. Qualifier d is for delimiter. Space head. Yes, we get the first 10 SRR IDs, right? Yes. Then this is the first column will give us SRR run IDs, and then filter for lines that match SRR. Yes. So if we want only the SRR lines and we don't want the unnecessary run header, right? So basically the same command can be got from up arrow history, right? And then grep srr specifically you can give caret and give a strict grep and red space IDs.txt. So this also you can t as you get only the SRR, right? Okay, this is understood. So you can give it as t IDs.txt. Yes, 891. You can check for this. So it's WC qualifier L, right? Yes. Okay. So and basically we have this one. We now we're not doing the fast queue dump because it's going to take very huge amount of space and time resources. So how do we get the information for all runs in the SRA? So how many sequencing runs, for example, we can just grab SRR, which you already did. Yes. How do we extract columns from a comma separated file using CSV Kit and Miller? We saw. How do we clean up the data? Okay, we don't have any cleanup. We're not downloading the all.csv. And how many sequence based in the SRA? Is the fifth command, fifth column, right? So basically the fifth column. So CSV cut, or if you want here, so cat ids.txt cut 45 F5 cut here. So ids.txt is the first column, right? Okay, let us give info.csv, cat info.csv. Yes. Okay, so this is in the parsing is basically happening including the commas, right? So we just want to remove the parsing based on the comma separated delimiter. So if let us see if CSV cut or CSV toolkit is installed in our case. We need basically CSV kit, right? So CSV kit is not there. So let us install it. So this installation, I'm just giving the link so that you can practice it. CSV kit, we already have a PDF, SRA meta.pdf. So okay, a cross-platform efficient practical CSV or TSV toolkit. So if you go here, you can go to this link. You can check this link for installation. So always be flexible with installation. The link should give you information about how to install. This installation is always a one-time task. Okay, then let us see that the CSV file which we visualize automatically will give us all the information. If you just visualize it in terms of the number of columns. So what are the columns we basically want? Fifth column, first column is the runs, fifth column is the number of sequence bases, 1, 5, and then 29, how many sequencing runs per organism. 29th column, first column, fifth column, 19th column, 29th column, first column, fifth column, 19, 20, 29. Okay, 1, 5, 19, 20, 29. Yes. So how big is the largest? Okay, 1, 5, 19, 20, 29. So if you focus on those columns, we again go back to this CSV folder. Let's make 7 September. Yes, info.csv. First column is we give comma tab delimiter. Okay, and then first column is the SRRs, sequence read runs, and fifth column E, right? Fifth column E is the number of bases. Yes, and okay, so and basically if we want to find number of bases, we can see this spots it makes with this average length is. So number of bases is this one. Basically some columns headers might be misleading, so basically we make some careful observations. Obviously we saw that spots into number of reads is the number of bases here. And if you go further, this is a link, and this is the SRA experiment ID, and then the type of the experiment, RNA-seq, and the cDNA, transcriptomic, paired, and then platform. So basically this should all come in a single column, but because of the delimiting we are seeing it like this. So and then the bioproject ID is going to be the same for all. And sample type, taxonomic ID, scientific name and sample name, and source, and this is Ebola virus. Similarly, for using the bioproject ID for coronavirus, you can get the subject ID to the coronavirus here. Yes. So up to this, okay, and this is a public dataset, and this is the MD5 checksum, and this is the MD5 checksum encryption. Okay, so basically we discussed this already. I was just recapping this SRE metadata. Okay, so this is the last page, right? Okay, so we'll just quickly recap this one also, the snip call protocol, because we are basically focusing on that module. So this is here, we covered this on first 7th and second, right? 1 minute. Yes. So this is a basic workflow for snip calling, which we already discussed. Yes, Brijeshi, have you tried this with not REL 606 but equality.fa? Okay, let us see the attendance. Yes, hello Brijeshi.
Yes, Hers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brijesh.
I'm sorry, I have.
Yeah, you tried this based on the equality.fa, right? You gave a file name as wrong name. So we basically have FASTQ read and we
So
quality control.
we move.
Yeah. Yes, Brijeshi.
Okay. So I guess we are returned back to whatever we are discussing in the last week.
Yeah. So we basically had the FASTQ file. We also have the trimmed FASTQ file and quality control FASTQ file. We converted it into SAM or BAM format based on the reference genome alignment index, and then we do the alignment cleanup. We get the BAM file, basically pile up, and then we finally get the variant call format VCF file. Okay. So
Yes.
So this is the
Actually,
basic.
I have some doubt in the last the last class we have regarding to this tool, IGV tool, how to visualize the
Okay.
maybe tomorrow I will be discussing with you how to visualize this variant
Yes. So basically.
SNP, how to visualize the SNP.
Yes. So basically, we go to this folder, CD, September, snip 02. Yes, results, right? We go to the results folder. We go to the BAM folder. So do you have these files in the BAM folder, in the results folder subdirectory BAM?
I guess no, because the last 5-10 minutes I get some kind of the error during the running the program.
So basically, we have the align BAM file. That BAM file, we need to sort the BAM file. That sorted BAM.
Yeah. I remember we are aligned the BAM file. Yes. Like when we converted in the VCF file, like the VCF command, then I get some kind of the error.
Okay. This text, this terminal book exactly, please follow, because this is going to be all the tested commands, right? So this PDF, I'm again mentioning the link. I'm again mentioning the link to the just terminal book PDF. Yes, I'm again mentioning here. Okay, so once you download this PDF, you can see here September 2020 sessions. So all this command should work properly. Only we already tested and then only uploaded into the PDF, Linux terminals. So basically, we should sort and align the BAM file, and then using BCF tools we can convert into VCF format. So this is fine. This is the command to convert to VCF. Yes, BCF tools, MPileUp and BCF tools call. Yes, you can exactly follow the terminal book. Everything is clear. You can once print out it. I think it's 14 pages or 15 pages. You can print it out and then try it. So basically, the IGB visualization. If you go to this folder, just type IGB, and then 393 position is where we have the reference to alternate base variation from T to G. So once we install IGB using bioconda, conda space install space IGB. So it's a Java application which will load, and then so it should load, and yes, we already uploaded the equali.fa as mentioned here. Okay, so once this interface loads, we get the sequence in the bottom and the aligned BAM file on the top. Go to genomes, load genome from file to this folder, and snip subfolder, and snip call equali. Sequence will come on the bottom, so let us load the BAM file. go to the 393 position. This is G. Yes, so you can see clearly, right? Yes, Brijesh Ji. Yes, all of you, can you see this?
Yes, I can see. Like
the 393.
remember we did in the last week.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
But
So the
there is
orange.
some problem once I was running up this pile up command.
Yeah.
Pile up command. Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe I will do practice one more time,
Yeah.
and if there is any problem, then I can write to you.
Yeah. So this 393 position is this, 390 position is this. The orange is a 393, 390, 391, 392, 393. This is G consensus variation here, and T is reference base, this is alternate base. Okay, this is also recorded. Okay, so then let us meet Tuesday. Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we meet Tuesday, 2 p.m. Okay. Yes, we will still continue with variation, genomic variation. Still, we more have a lot to cover. We will continue Tuesday. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.